Hello, good afternoon and welcome to News Hour on GBC News, your news and governance channel. You can also join us on Ghana Television. We're also live on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. My name is Rahmatu Mahmoud Jawando. The Ghana Private Road Transport Union GPRTU and the Coalition of Private Transport Operators say it will conclude deliberations on the increment of transport fares on February 2, 2022. This announcement was made at a stakeholder meeting with the various transport operator groups. Drivers in the country had earlier raised concerns over the hike in fuel prices, indicating that it is having a negative impact on their work. They embarked on a strike in December 2021 to make their demands known to the government, but later called off the industrial action. A month after the nationwide action, transport operators say the government has failed to heed their request to scrap some levies on fuel to cause a reduction in the price of petroleum products, hence their decision for the next line of action. We are joined on the line by the head of communications for the GPRTU, Mr. Abbas Maru, for some clarifications. Hello, good afternoon, sir. Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
How are you, Mr. Maru?
I'm fine, and you?
Fine, thank you, alhamdulillah. What was the outcome of your meeting last Thursday?
Thank you very much. Last Thursday, we met and we are looking for a final decision from a committee set up, of which I'm one of the committee members. Our report was incomplete, so we're given an additional task so that we can form a very credible decision. We are to come back on Wednesday for a final decision. Hopefully, we shall present a credit report that we are looking for to form our final decision.
But this is the situation that the GPRTU is calling for the scrapping of petroleum levies, while the Coalition of Private Transport Operators also want an increment in transport fares. Are the two groups on the same page?
We are with the coalition. Fortunately, looking at our side, the coalition isn't being headed by GPRTU. We are all members of the coalition. We met together. We take decisions together. We don't lord our size over anybody.
Mr. Abbas, come Thursday, what percentage of increment should we look forward to?
The committee's report will inform on that. The committee's report will inform on that. That was why the meeting was postponed again. We want to come out. You see, we are protecting our drivers. Our industry is now falling. And we are as well protecting our clients. Because the passengers are our relatives, our wives, our children. So this is exactly what we are going to do. We are not looking at one-sided.
So from your earlier information, you told us that government never paid heed to your recommendations. So are you saying that moving forward, you wouldn't engage government again in whatever decision you're going to take?
Madam, there are certain things I don't have to disclose today, but we shall disclose on Wednesday or Thursday. Because currently we have two schools of thought. One is the scrapping of some taxes, which we have mentioned earlier on. And the second one is upward adjustment in purpose. Yes, of course, if we even opt for upward adjustment, which wasn't our first choice, too, we have the opportunity as Ghanaians, as a fundamental human right as Ghanaians, to still talk about the scrapping, because some of them has overlived their age. Some of the taxes were brought into being due to the situation it was in that time, and they were given a period of resistance. So until Wednesday, that we are finally decided, I don't have to mention some of the other points by mentioning some of the actions we are going to take. We will plead with the public to wait patiently after Wednesday's meeting.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moru. We would be holding on till Wednesday when you come out with whatever decision you take. That was Mr. Moru, who is the head of communications for the GPRTU, giving us some detailed information on the increment of fares to take place on Wednesday. Refurbishment of the Kolebu surgical block has begun to save it from further deterioration. The 57-year-old six-story structure has not been renovated since it was established in 1965. Works on the external part of the building is expected to be completed by April this year, although the block will remain operational during the period. Meanwhile, the expansion works and construction of a number of facilities is ongoing steadily. A report by Sarah Furi.
The 240-bed surgical block of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital plays a significant role in the services offered by the hospital. Specialized care such as neurosurgery, breast cancer surgery, liver and pancreas surgeries, vascular and thyroid surgeries, as well as general surgeries. It is also a hub for training of surgeons. Its theaters and intensive care units may be rated as good, but the building housing these units is worn out. Corroded metal rods and beams, broken louver blades, torn and dirty mosquito nets. There are cracks in parts of the building. The washrooms are not in a dignified state. The elevators in the wards are not functional except one of the two transport elevators. Handing over the contract to refurbish the exterior part of the surgical block to Cathalon Ghana Limited, the contractors, the chairman for the project, Dr. Frederick Kwartin, said the move is intended to restore decency to the deteriorating infrastructure.
The Kolebu surgical tower block and the maternity tower block have deteriorated to an extent that it's a big eyesore to the country. The scope of work include restoration of all cracks and removal of deteriorated metals that are all rotten, and then also external painting of the entire structure. The hospital also intends to replace the mosquito nets that are dilapidated and restore it with new ones, so that in the end the surgical tower block will look decent.
The chief executive of the hospital, Dr. Opoku Wariampoma, said the status of the hospital in the sub-region requires that it be given the right ambience to operate. Hence, the hospital's services and facilities are being upgraded.
This hospital is a hub for training, it's a hub for research, it's a hub for high-level medical work, and so we believe that this has to be matched by the infrastructure, because that has been our Achilles heel, which affects the ability of our medical experts to perform more efficiently and to also reach more numbers.
The contractor, Mr. Francis Sukpa, said works on the exterior is expected to be completed within 3 months at a cost of over 400,000 Ghana cedis. He assured management of quality service. Sarah Furi, GBC News, Accra.
The National Labour Commission has sued the University Teachers Association of Ghana UTAG over its nationwide strike. The NLC is praying for the court to secure an interlocutory injunction to compel the lecturers to return to work. It said the suit is also to force UTAG to call off its strike in compliance with its January 13th directive. The commission had earlier asked UTAG to call off its strike after declaring it illegal. UTAG members on on all campuses are on strike to force the government to restore the conditions of service agreed upon in 2012. The 3-week-old strike has sparked worry among students as they anticipate that the academic calendar will be disrupted. The president of the University of Ghana chapter of UTAG, Dr. Samuel Nkumban, has joined us on the line. Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Hello. Good afternoon to viewers and listeners.
How are you, Mr. Nkumban?
I'm very well, thank you.
So then, what is UTAG doing about this lawsuit by NLC?
Thank you very much. UTAG has duly forwarded the suit and all attachments to our legal team also, who will be filing a response, and then UTAG will make an appearance on the first day, which is 3rd of February 2020.
So are you saying we should expect some changes from your side this time around?
Well, we do understand that the National Labour Commission a couple of days ago went to court seeking an effort to place the same interrogatory injunction on our strike. Fortunately, on the side of UTAG, the court didn't grant that, and that if they wanted to deal with it early, then they needed to serve us, and so we needed to be noticed. And that is why they've gone back to file and then to duly notify us. And in which case we have an opportunity to make a case as to why UTAG thinks that the National Labour Commission directive is not okay with us, and we could go ahead without having to obey it.
Is calling for more negotiations with your employer. Why is UTAG not doing so?
If you recall, the last academic year, we did go on strike. That was in August of last year. And the Labour Commission took us to court. Ultimately, they had to withdraw the case for us to engage. We did engage with Labour Commission and government, and we all agreed and signed an agreement on 18th of August that from 23rd of August up to 22nd of September, all outstanding matters had to be concluded. And you would guarantee that from September until now, we are talking about 5 months down the line, government has failed to meet us in this regard. And we have not seen what action National Labour Commission has taken against government for disobeying or defying the agreement which we signed, in fact, which was brokered by the National Labour Commission. And so we do not understand why it is the case that it's the labor union that National Labour Commission has authority to bring to order. And in the case of government, the firing is part of the bargain. Nothing happens to government. And that is the basis for some of the reasons why many of the strike actions that they have declared illegal have not been held binding by the members. And you will note that the day UTAG was met by the Labour Commission, UTAG was met by the Labour Commission, both sides agreed. I mean, the Labour Commission said the strikes were illegal. Membership of these associations have thought otherwise because of this seeming element of unfairness in dealing with government and the.
Well, if a consensus is not reached and the court rules that you go back to the classroom, what happens then?
The declaration of the action was by the membership of UTAG. You are talking about over 1,100 members. And so it is the case that court rules have space to continue on that. And so the leadership have to be fair matter to the and then the decision will be taken thereafter.
So is your association considering adjusting the demands somehow given the challenges in the economy to what the employer is ready to offer you at the negotiation table?
Well, of course, we are always willing to meet and to hear what there is to offer from the government. But our demands are quite very clearly stated. And so if it is the case that government is offering us that, or that if government has a proposition that it wants us to listen to and to make consideration in terms of whether we will accept or not, we are open to such engagement.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nkumban. That was Mr. Samuel Nkumban, the president of the University of Ghana chapter of UTAG, with that explanation. The government says it will continue to establish more concessions which are able to employ about 5,000 workers each. The Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. George Mrikuduka, said this on Friday when he paid a weekend visit to the administrators of the Minerals Development Fund at Laboni in Accra. Thanks for staying on with us. We apologize for the mix-up. We'll bring you the story later. The Ghana Meteorological Agency says another burst of dry weather is expected this weekend. Humidity is expected to drop to between 10 and 20% over the northern sector, with a visibility range of 500 to 5,000 meters. The chief forecaster with the agro-meteorological unit of the Meteorological Agency, Madame Felicity Ahafianyo, has joined us on the line to explain it better with us. Hello, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, madam.
How are you?
By the grace of God, I'm doing very fine. What about you?
I'm doing great. The dry spells have been on and off this time around. What is causing this?
Thank you so much. We know the season over here in Ghana. We have the dry season and then the wet season. The wet means the rainfall season, and then the dry means the harmattan. And the harmattan most times starts from November and move into the next year. At times it ends in the second month of the year, and at times it extends to the third or the fourth month, depending on your geographical location. So this year season is also following or moving along the same pattern. But then when it comes to the severity, that is where we have some variations in it.
So how different is this year's harmattan from what we have experienced previously?
Yes, the 2021-2022 harmattan is a bit moderate to severe, where most of us are complaining about the cold and then the dryness in the system. And then in terms of visibility too, it's also on the low side.
We are told that visibility range will drop from 500 to 5,000. For the layman, if you say humidity will drop, what does it mean and what should we expect?
Yes, around the Harmattan season, we have the dust particles that are in suspension in the air. So it normally reduces visibility or how far you can see, mostly during the day and then the night time. So the night time, we have the moisture that comes in, and then worsen the situation, we have forming a fog or mist patches. So some areas visibility should be very poor, and then others there should be a bit moderate. But what we are experiencing now, most areas are having almost uniform visibility ranges across the country.
What are some of the...
And then in terms of the relative humidity, that's the dryness of the air. I think most of us are feeling it, so it's not going to support any cloud development. So it's going to be a bit dry, and then it's not suitable for us to be playing around with open fires.
So what are some of the precautions to consider given that the poor visibility, and also how to stay healthy?
Yes, in terms of visibility, we are advising our motorists, especially the drivers that drive during the night, dawn, and then the morning hours, that they should drive carefully, because we have a lot of potholes on the road. If you are not able to watch well, then you are going to run into it, and subsequently it's likely to result in an accident. And then also some of the motorists too, they have a breakdown, the package. If you are not able to see well, you are likely to run into it. So this is the time that they should reduce their speed drastically. And then if your car breaks down on the road, it is advisable that you tow it away, park it at a place that it will not be disadvantaged to another road user. And then in terms of the relative humidity, the hunters, those that use open fire tools, this is the time that they should be very, very diligent with it. They should be careful. The plantain roasters by the roadside, anybody that uses firewood or gas, this is the time that we should be attentive, we should pay attention to it. So that once we are done with the fire, we make sure that we quench the least of it. The farmers that may be using the fires to clear their land in preparation for the rainy season, we are pleading with them that they should do it cautiously. They should form farm dogs, that's a fire dog around their farms before they set the fire in, and then pay attention, be there before any other things. And then for the food vendors, they have to be closing their covering their food stuff, because we have a lot of dust that is full of bacteria and germs and every other thing. So this is the time that they should cover their food stuff before selling.
Thank you so much, Madam Felicity. That was the chief forecaster with the agro-meteorological unit of the Meteorological Agency with that update. Also, Home Basic School is the winner of the 2021 Smart Governance Challenge by the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE, held in Accra. The Smart Governance Challenge is a quiz on the Constitution aimed at promoting civic education among pupils in the basic schools. The chairperson of NCCE, Madame Josephine Nkrumah, says the commission is working to upgrade the constitutional quiz from the district level to the national stage to engender a national understanding of the essence of democracy, citizen well-being.
The National Commission for Civic Education began the Smart Governance Challenge for basic schools in 2015 at the district level. In 2021, the challenge was upgraded to comprise winners of the various districts. The competing schools were Standard Foundation, Anointed Academy, Osu Home, and Mystical Rose. The pupils were quizzed on the principles and objectives of the Constitution. Pupils from the Osu Home emerged winners of the 2021 challenge, followed by Standard Foundation. The second and third runner-ups were Mystical Rose and Anointed Academy respectively, after a series of tie-breaking questions. The winners received a cash prize of 3,000 Ghana cedis from Gwell Company, a plaque, gold medals for all participants and tutors, certificates, 20 copies of the 1992 Constitution, and a hamper. The first runner-up took home 2,000 Ghana cedis as cash prize, silver medals, a hamper, certificate, and 20 copies of the 1990 Constitution, while the third and fourth schools received cash prizes of 1,500 and 1,000 respectively, medals, hampers, certificates, and copies of the Constitution. The chairperson of the NCCE, in an interview GBC News, praised NCCE directors from the 6 competing districts, Ga Central, Ablikma North, La Dadeko Tupong, and Ashaiman, for the commitment to the success of the competition. She said the competition will draw active citizenship from the pupils and enable them to participate in sustaining Ghana's democracy.
The idea is to nurture citizens to become solution-oriented. To be solution-oriented, they need to understand the Constitution, understand what values we preach in the Constitution, understand that as a people, if you read the preamble of our Constitution, there are aspirations that we have agreed that we want to secure for ourselves. And it says that we want to secure for ourselves the blessings of liberty, equality of opportunity, and prosperity.
The Chief Director at the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Evans Agwidakun, described the competition as the best way to nurture the youth to become responsible citizens to consolidate the country's democratic gains.
West African Humanitarian Aids, in collaboration with the Turkish government, has handed over an ultra-modern water facility to the Ayeben Memorial Primary and Kindergarten at Ayawaso North Municipal Assembly in the Accra. The laboratory-tested borehole will address the water challenges of the school and access to potable water.
The water facility will serve school children, teachers and community members. Water from the borehole, after going through a series of lab tests, was cleared to be hygienic for consumption. The director of West African Humanitarian Aid, Selman Oznepa, said other projects earmarked will be completed at Ayabeng Memorial Primary and Kindergarten, as well as other needy schools across the country.
We are supporting many of the schools, importantly School for the Blind, School for the Deaf, and also we are supporting disabled people NGOs. We just started 7 months ago, but Alhamdulillah, we finished more than $500,000 project now. And we have very nice school project in Wa under Islamic Education Unit. So in the future, we want to continue with education project, health project, and humanitarian project in Ghana.
The chairman of Ayawaso Zango Chiefs and a founding father of the school, Chief Baba Umoru Issa, expressed gratitude to the donors and other players for making the project a success.
This water project is going to support the children of Kotobabi from Accra, Newtown, Mamubi, Pig Farm, Nima, and so many other places. We are indeed grateful to you. Yes, I must also appreciate and commend the good efforts of the director or directors of Ayawaso North Municipal Assembly Education Units and the teaching staff of Ayeben Memorial.
The head teacher of the Ayabeng Memorial Primary and Kindergarten School, Mr. Solomon Adovo, said management of the school will exhibit a high maintenance culture to extend the lifespan of the facility.
The people of Uluahai community near Klo Agogo in the Yellow Krobok municipality of the Eastern region have made a passionate appeal to the government through the municipal chief executive, Mr. Eric Tete, and the member of parliament for Yellow Krobok constituency, Mr. Albert Tete Nyakuti, to help fix the road leading to the community. They made the appeal when GBC News visited the community.
Oluahai is a farming community located about 2 kilometers away from Klo-Agogo in the Yilo-Krobo municipality. It has a population of over 400. Farmers here grow crops including plantain, yam, cassava, vegetables and fruits. The road leading to the community is in such a bad state that no vehicle plies it. As a result, the community members commute to and from the area on motorbikes. This has also affected carton of farm produce to market centers, as the farmers have to carry the produce to the markets on their heads. Access to potable water is also a challenge. For their drinking water, the inhabitants of Oluahai depend on a well, which gets dry during the Harmattan season. The community has erected a shed that serves as the only school in the area, which handles pupils from kindergarten to basic 4. Oluahai has no healthcare facility, so the people have to travel long distances to Klo-Agogo to access healthcare, which has led to loss of lives because of delay in transporting people to the health center. The assemblyman of the Oluahai electoral area, Mr. Kofi Nati, gives details about the plight of the people in the community.
We are calling on the government to come to our aid and construct the road for us, because it serves a lot of purposes. But I am praying that both Upper Manya and then Yilo will come together and do this in as a central government project so that the two communities will benefit from it.
One of the Kada riders who operates in the area, Mr. Sefastete, said they sometimes organize communal labor to keep the road in shape, but it does not help much. He noted that due to the struggle for water for house chores, pupils in the area sometimes do not go to school, and even when they do, they report very late.
Commuters on the Kwame Prakrom to Ayamfuri Road at Donkwa Ayamfuri in the Upper Dentra are calling on government to fix the road. They say the situation is affecting businesses as well as causing health problems, including chest infections to residents and transport operators.
The 15-kilometer Donkwa Ayamfuri Road has only 7 kilometers complete, with the remaining 8 kilometers from Kwame Prakrom to Ayamfuri uncompleted. The Donkwa Ayamfuri Road, which links the entire Ashanti Central, Western and Western North regions, has for years not been given the needed attention. The dusty nature of the entire road is affecting transport operators and residents in the community. The Dentra Youth Congress, a group of young professionals and senior citizens of Dentra, are therefore calling on the government to help fix the road.
Look at the quantum of that. At least the contractor, if he's unable to fix it from time to time, should have at least water the road to do that, because we are in the dry season. Look at the leaves around, look at people's roofs. Look at all of activities happening. You can see that the dust has become a nuisance and must be dealt with.
Some residents also complained of serious health problems caused by the dusty road.
Abani be janso na so onya yata ni manu ya yehu de ekobiem ase o ma jato na mfuturo kuan ni se ekun ye.
Welcome back. Magdan Aviation, a subsidiary of the Magdan Group of Companies, has officially launched an into commercial private jet operations at the Kotoka International Airport. The latest addition of a private airline to the running at Ghana's airport has led to the creation of an ultra-modern private jet launch solely to serve clients of the Magdan Airlines. The launch formally opened at Terminal 2 of the airport in Accra, and the chief executive of the Magdan Group, Mr. Daniel Macaulay, said aviation services are now directly at the doorsteps of the business class in the country.
A new page has turned in Ghana's aviation industry with the first commercial private jet airline owned by a Ghanaian and operating from the Kotoka International Airport in Accra. Magdan Aviation Company acquired a fixed-based operator license from the Ghana Airports Company Limited. The ultra-modern private jet lounge and terminal, which is the first in Ghana, is equipped to provide first-class aviation services to all, especially the business class, and to promote international businesses and aviation tourism in the country. The Magdan Private Jet Lounge has a conference room for guests to hold business meetings without necessarily leaving the airport or the city, and may wish to return to their home base that day.
It's not above middle class. I mean, depending on what you're doing in the sub-region, anywhere you want to go, depending on the business that you want to run. Traveling in the sub-region is very difficult, because now you want to go to a place like Senegal, no flights. You have to go to Europe before you come down. So this is a solution for Africa. This is a solution, and Ghanaian businessmen must take advantage of this opportunity and make their business quite flexible, quite easy, and close deals. It's also give you another class that look at. We are the only company in the country which is licensed to manage private jets.
The chief executive of the Magdan Group, Mr. Daniel Macaulay, said Magdan Aviation will start running commercial aviation services with 3 private jets and 1 helicopter, and subsequently add other aircraft including a Challenger 604 Bombardier and Gulfstream jet and helicopters, which will offer air ambulance services.
We have all the units here, including customs. So you pass through here. If you want to relax in any of the lounges, you can relax. If you want to have your bath before you fly, you can have your bath. If you want to have massage, you can have massage. And also we have unique services here that you might not find in most of the FBO lounges in the world, because this place, before you fly, you can book the food you want. We'll send you the menu. You can book what you want. Even if you want kelewele, we'll get kelewele on your flight. So this is exclusive service that we intend to provide from this terminal.
The Magdan Aviation Company says its flagship service will be equipped with all the standard aviation service personnel, including immigration officers, national security, and the Ghana Health Service. It will also adhere to all international aviation rules for the expected city. The project is also estimated to provide employment to more than 400 Ghanaians in 2022.
The Minerals Commission has implored stakeholders in the mining sector to step up efforts to promote women's participation in the exploitation of the country's natural resources. The Deputy Chief Executive of the Commission, Ms. Shelley Chase, says having a diverse and more inclusive mining industry would help increase the sector's profitability. She made the remarks at the annual general meeting of the Women in Ghana held in Accra.
There is gender disparity in the mining industry. Despite the vigorous campaign on diversity and inclusion in the last 2 decades, women continue to be vastly underrepresented in various fields of endeavor. According to Bloomberg, the proportion of women employed by mining companies is around 15.7%, up only 1% in the past 5 years, and the numbers are worse at management levels. In Ghana, women represent less than 10% of the mining sector's total workforce. Women in Mining Ghana, an advocacy group driving the sector's inclusivity campaign, has been pushing for more diversity in the industry. This year's annual general meeting of the group focused on tackling the impediments undermining effective female participation in the industry.
A growing body of evidence suggests that stronger financial performance, improved governance, and reduced risk of bankruptcy are associated with the participation of women on corporate boards and in senior management positions. Our cultural myths have not been helpful in this respect either, as have rather added to the impediments against women in the sector. I therefore take this opportunity to call on women in mining to step up the campaign to encourage the youth, particularly girls in pursuit of courses in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, which will pave the way for them to venture into mining and related technical fields.
The president of Women in Mining Ghana, Dr. Georgette Sechiado, urged the professionals to create opportunities for young girls to help ensure a more diverse and inclusive mining industry. The mining industry has for long been built on hard labor, grit, and perseverance, reinforcing a system that disproportionately admires masculine identity. According to Women in Mining Ghana, this identity has waned in today's competitive world, urging mining firms to employ more women.